to sit to our next act, so let's put your hands together. Welcome to the stage, Nicola Osborne. Hello there, my name is Nicola Osborne. Now, by day, I'm a social media officer for an organisation called the DINA at the University of Edinburgh. By night, I'm actually also a social media officer at the University of Edinburgh. It's kind of a 24-hour job, there's no superhero time. But when people hear what I do, they get a very strange kind of look on their face. And it's a real mixture of disgust, I think, that it's a real job, which it is, and a bit of envy. And I think the envy is what drives the question that I then always get, which is, do you play on Facebook all day? Unprofessional. I play on Twitter all day, obviously. But I'm not here to talk about my use of social media. I'm here to talk about 43 really lovely participants who took part in my research with the MSc in e-learning at the University of Edinburgh, MSc in digital education. And I wanted to find out how to use social media for their informal learning. So the first question I asked them was, do you do continuing professional development? And they all said yes. Fantastic. They're all valid research participants. I'm a happy researcher. So my next question was, well, okay, they've all got different job backgrounds, all doing different things. So what does continuing professional development mean to you? And they kind of all said, we're not really sure. We're doing it. We're not really sure what it is. And it turns out that actually they're in very, very good company, because the literature doesn't agree either. The literature kind of doesn't agree with what continuing professional development is, or how you measure it, any of those things. So the great thing is that today I can tell you anything I like, and I will guarantee you that I can back it up with evidence and literature and all of that stuff. Anything is correct because they all don't agree. So we're all set. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to turn my research findings into a sort of etiquette guide for you. And there are two reasons why those would be a good move. The first one is that this year we've had the royal baby, and so we've had 24-hour rolling news of an empty easel and discussion of protocol and etiquette. So I thought, well, the kids are into etiquette. Yeah? Go with it. It's what I've got. And the other reason is that someone gave me this rather fabulous Buckingham Palace leather-bound gold notebook. Ooh! And there really is no use I have for this other than as an etiquette guide, so it had to be. So my first etiquette tip for learning in social media is do share things. Okay, I can see you're underwhelmed. Okay, it seems obvious. It seems obvious that you're on social media and you share stuff. And that's fine. But actually most people don't. Most people go on social media and they watch other people share stuff. They don't do stuff of their own. So when they're trying to build a professional reputation, or they're trying to build up a sort of profile that will let them learn things from other people, you need to share stuff to do that. So share stuff. Now, I have a request. As a professional working in social media, I would specifically ask you not to tweet that you're about to use the toilet. Those kind of cliches make us all look bad. So aside from toilet tweets, maybe Tom's allowed to do toilet tweets, I'm not sure. Aside from toilet tweets, you know, share stuff, that's good. So etiquette tip number 2, do share your personality. Now, why might you do this? Well, because people tend to like to learn things of people who seem like a rounded individual, not just their work stuff. So if they're only sharing bits of information and links to stuff, and there's no kind of sense of them as a person, it's quite hard to learn from them. One of the participants really wanted to have a better sense of the person. And I see this in my own network online. So I like to think that I have a really good, really powerful social network, and that's down to me being a really, eminent, professional, expertise. It's all about that. It's not. It's because I share pictures of chocolate cake and pictures of dogs. And it turns out that the most senior professors and chief executives, the thing that will get them talking to you on a professional basis is lolcats and like frangipane recipes, it's that kind of stuff. So, do share that kind of stuff, do share your personality. There's a caveat. I'm assuming that everyone in this room is lovely. They're not colossal assholes who think that bomb threats and rape threats and they talk really hilarious. Because if you're one of those, I would strongly suggest you do not share your personality on social media. Do not. That is very poor etiquette. You should get that out this month, Don't share it there. So, third etiquette tip, and this applies in life as well as in social media, do bring a gift. It's always good etiquette. So for me, for instance, in the next couple of minutes, after show's done, a bit later on, if you tweeted, I just saw such pretty eyes, at Bright Club EDN, and she was fantastic. That would be a lovely gift. That's not me taking advantage of my position here, this is me educating you. But generally kind of good gifts on social media are things like bits of advice, bits of information, that sort of stuff. Those are good gifts. Obviously there is a dark side to present giving. There are bad gifts. So by show of hands, how many of us here have ever had a bad present? That's most of us. Just keep your hands raised if you've ever told the person that's given you the bad present that it was a bad present. It's just me again. Okay. Now I'm really, really good. I'm scaffolding the learning of the person who has given me the gift. They will learn how to give gifts better in the future. So people will benefit from this. This will help them. This will mean they give good gifts in the future. Probably not to me. In my experience, they don't really appreciate being told they're given a bad gift. But the reason you might do it on social media is because I think I mentioned all those people who don't share things. They just watch what other people share. And I found in my research that lots of people will see something wrong on social media. They'll see a bit of bad advice or a discrediting theory or something like that. And rather than tell someone in public or correct them in public, they go and send them an email or a direct message or something that's private, because it's not embarrassing. It's the same reason you wouldn't tell someone at your birthday party that this present is rubbish. So they try not to embarrass them. And that means that person's name is then sat in this permanent internet place with the wrong information attached to it for a long time, which I think is much worse. I think that's much worse etiquette. So I want you to all correct people in public if they give you bad advice in the future. Now on to my final bit of etiquette advice for today. If you want more etiquette advice, just ask me later. I'll do a whole Miss Manners thing. But my final bit of advice for today is do ask questions. Because people in my research, they found that if they asked questions of other people on social media, they got really useful responses back. Now, you know, don't just kind of run onto Facebook and say, I need help! You'll get a lot of very personal responses, and they won't be helpful. So you probably want to make sure it's a specific sort of question, something that, you know, is actually able to be given a helpful answer. So with that in mind, and to kind of pop test you on this stuff, because I do some teaching as well, I like a pop test. I thought we'd do a little bit of honest, open feedback on how I've done here. So what I'd like, just your comments and how I've done, you know, good and bad, and I don't know who wants to start. Actually, I think that's my full 8 minutes used up. But I was really looking forward to that, it's such a shame. Thank you so much.